opportunity for all to sing, dance, and clap their hands, yeah. But just because a record has a groove, don't make it in the groove. But you can tell right away that's A when the people start to move. They can feel it all over. They can feel it all over people. They can feel it all over. They can feel it all over people. Yeah. Hey. That's all right. Music knows it is and always will be one of the things that life just won't quit. Here are some of music's pioneers. The time will not allow us to forget now. There's basic love saxophone and the king of all Duke. And with a voice like Alice ringing out, there's no way the band can lose. Hey, you can feel it all over. You can feel it all over people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over people. Hey. And though you don't believe that they do come true. For did my dreams come true when I looked at you? And maybe two of you would believe. You too might be overjoyed over love over you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Teachers College 2022 Masters 2 Convocation Ceremony. I'm Denise Bonetta, Director of Graduate Student Life and Development, and I am thrilled to be your pre-show host along with Tom Rock, Vice Provost of Student Affairs. You might be viewing this as an audience member in the stadium waiting for the pomp and circumstance to begin. And if that's the case, welcome to Queens, my hometown. I hope you're enjoying our new convocation venue and that you take advantage of the time with your graduating student in the most amazing place in the world, yes, I'm biased, New York City. We also know that we have members watching from home, whether they are family and friends who might not have been able to travel, or students who, for a variety of reasons, couldn't make the ceremony. As someone who had to miss their own master's graduation, I'm overjoyed that we can bring the ceremony to you. While we would have loved to celebrate with you here, we're committed to bringing the spirit and joy of the ceremony to your living rooms. As someone who put on her gown, blasted a Nicki Minaj song, and danced around her house, I hope you all are doing what makes most sense to you to acknowledge this monumental moment. If you want to share your experience on social media, please be sure to use the hashtag TCHappy. This pre-show will include special guest speakers, amazing musical performances highlighting our TC students and campus, and some interesting facts. I'm excited to be joined by Dr. Tom Rock, a very proud TC alum himself, who'll be outside in Grad Plaza with our students and guests. Tom, how's it going down there?
You've done this before.
Hi Denise, it's going so well out here on Grad Plaza. I am having so much fun hanging out with our graduates, and here is one of our distinguished graduates. This is Damian Mannings. Hi Damian.
Hi Tom. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm so excited. I am delighted to be here. It's a wonderful day to be here, to be with you, to be with my colleagues, to be with everyone. I'm happy.
Damian, what program did you graduate from?
International Educational Development. I love it. I love it.
Oh, fantastic.
It's a great program, Tom.
And what are you going to do with your degree?
With my degree, I'm definitely going to leverage it at Harvard, where I'm going next.
Wow, going to Harvard next. Good
Hugsy.
for you.
I'm so excited.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much,
And
Tom.
who's here cheering you on?
My dad is here, Grace is here, and my friend Kalyani is here. And of course, everyone is here cheering me on.
Everybody is.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody is cheering you on, Damian. Is there any special message, anything you want to tell your friends and family, or everyone?
Well, everyone, please do great things with what you've accomplished today. And my friends in Japan, すごく久しぶり。今日は卒業式終わった。勉強できたよ。すごく楽しみです。楽しみはこれからのいいことをやりたいです。もうまた日本で会いましょう。
Omedeto.
ありがとうございます。
All right, Damian, I will see you inside.
See you inside, Tom. See you inside. See you
All
inside.
right,
Great.
be well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Tom Rock. And now to another notable Tom. Hi, President Bailey. Thanks for stopping by.
Hi, Denise. Happy to be here.
So, since you're here, I do want to ask a few questions before we get into our ceremony later. So we've had 2 years of virtual ceremonies, which, you know, it was tough not being in person, but I really did love what we were able to do. But how does it feel now that we're back in person?
Well, I'm just so delighted to be here. I mean, I can remember vividly when we made the decision that we were going to have virtual ceremonies in 20, and then we had to do that again in 2021. I agree. I think we did a great job with that, given the circumstances. But being here together, it's just such a treat, really a gift to us. This is really one of the events I liked of the year the most. You know, I got to meet students, and especially I got to meet their parents, and I could not do that. So I'm very happy to be able to do that. Delighted to be here in person.
And so you've carried us through the pandemic with some pretty powerful messages and speeches you've given and emails. You're about to give a speech later today. Can you tell us a little bit about the message?
So yes, I think so many of our students come here with an understanding of the inequities, the injustices, the problems that we're all facing in the world. And they come here with some conviction to try to do something about that. We hope we give them some skills and some encouragement to go out and do that. But what I want to say today is that if they hold to their convictions, if they keep to the goals that they have, they will make changes, they will make improvements, and they'll make a better world.
And you're a great example of that with all the work you did with community colleges, with the Community College Research Center. So, President Bailey, on Wednesday morning, you took part in Columbia University's ceremony honoring the 2022 class. What was that like?
Well, that was really wonderful. I mean, if you know the area in the Columbia campus, there's 40,000 people there, very happy, parents, students, graduates, faculty, friends. So that's just a wonderful energy, really uplifting. It also gives you a sense of Teachers College being part of this large university, very diverse, you know, excellent, very influential. But what I liked the most was that the Teachers College students, I think, were among, or maybe even the most enthusiastic and made the most noise. So I was very proud of those students then.
And President Bailey, we've spent a lot of time talking with students this year where I learned a lot of cool facts about you, crossword puzzles, taking a walk in Riverside Park, playing the piano. But one of my favorite facts is that you're actually a proud dad of a TC grad. With that in mind, what message do you have for our families, either in the stadium or watching our live cast?
Yes, my daughter Daniela graduated from the Klingenstein program in 2015. So I'm very proud of her. I'm also proud of my other daughter, Erica, who's not a TC graduate, nevertheless. I think like any parent, my wife and I have tried to support our children, tried to do what we can for them, to encourage them, to provide support and advice. But I think we realize, and many of you I know will realize perhaps today, that your children have gone beyond what you can do. They've achieved more. They're out on their own. So I think it's wonderful to realize that, to observe, to be awed by the achievements that our children have. And I think that our graduates here will join a long line of TC change makers, some of whom I'll discuss today in my remarks.
Great. And so with that, I know you have to get to the processional line. On behalf of the college, though, I want to thank you for your leadership over the past few years, really helping us get to this moment today for our graduates. As always, great talking with you, and I can't wait to see you on stage later.
So thank you, Denise. I just want to say, it's an honor to lead this institution. It has such great students, such great faculty, really such great staff. So it's a pleasure to do that. I'm pleased to be able to do it and want to do the best that I can. So hope to see everybody in a few minutes.
Great, thanks. So now I want to share some highlights from Wednesday's Columbia University commencement ceremony.
To the enthusiastic, brilliant, sparkling, and qualified Teachers College candidates who have faced and overcome adversities throughout the pandemic to arrive at this moment. They're artists, educators, psychologists, health professionals, analysts, and researchers who are tenacious, diligent, and aspiring individuals eager to add their value and vitality to society. They are committed to equity, diversity, and social justice in the fields of education, psychology, and health. And I'm confident in their ability to confront challenges and forge solutions to build a better world.
Well, hello and welcome back to Grad Plaza. Columbia's ceremony on Wednesday was amazing. We had about 700 of our Teachers College graduates were there participating, so it's just been wonderful to celebrate with them. And we also had a lot of our faculty there as well. And I'm joined here by another one of our esteemed faculty members, Professor Sarah Brasidas. Hello, Professor Brasidas.
Hello, happy graduation, everyone.
Oh my gosh, how are you today?
Oh, I'm delighted. I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to be celebrating the graduates. So festive, so fun, just so well done.
Oh my gosh, thank you for stopping by. When you think about TC graduates, what comes to mind?
Wow, well, they're smart. They are whip smart, for sure. Kind, big hearts. And I think they're just in the world. They're really in the world. They're not sitting around kind of waiting for life to happen. They're in organizations, they're in schools, they're in healthcare settings, really making a difference already. And then they come to us and just learn more skills and strategies and expertise to be able to do that. So
Wow.
Really proud of them.
Absolutely, and the relationship between TC faculty and students is so special. Can you talk about that for a moment?
For sure, for sure. So on the occasion when I've been on panels and my faculty colleagues and I are asked, what do you love most about your job? To a person, we say the students. I think the student-faculty relationship at TC is really special. It's a mentoring relationship. It's a partnering relationship. We're really building a learning community together. It's not as though we're like dropping our expertise into the students' minds. They're bringing their own expertise, their own experiences, and we're really creating learning together. So I agree. I think it's a very special relationship.
Aw, wonderful. Any special message you want to give our grads today, or shout outs or anything?
Oh, wow. Just super congratulations. These are tough times. These have been challenging times, but you all have the skills, you have the talent, you have the community, you have the expertise, and TC is your forever community. We are your forever community, and you are a forever community to each other. So enjoy this accomplishment. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Professor Brasitis. I know you need to line up with the faculty and the faculty processional. It's happening soon. It's getting busy out here. I'll be joining you on stage. I'll make sure I'm in my regalia, and I can't wait to see you.
Me too.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks, Sarah. So up next is a beautiful recording of For Good from the Broadway show Wicked, performed by Arts and Humanities faculty member Jeannie Goffey Finn and 2022 doctoral graduate Irene Silvestri from the 2021 virtual convocation ceremony.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew all of you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew all of you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime, so let me say before we all part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You're all with me, like a handprint on my heart. Now, whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a sea drop by a sky bird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because we knew you, because we knew you, we have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've put my teachers through. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
I just love that performance. Professor Jeannie Goffey-Finn, featured in the video, is the music director for Convocation each year, and she selects such beautiful performances. Now, I would like to introduce our two master's student speakers. I had the opportunity to sit down with Yumna Bandari and DJ Jeffries last month to learn more about their TC experience and what their messages are for their speeches. Watch this. I am so happy to be here with the class of 2022 Teachers College student speakers. We have two amazing students that were selected from a class of about 2,000. It's always a really hard decision, but we are so lucky and fortunate to have the two students here with us today and that they're going to be the ones serving their classes. For Masters 1, we have Yumna Bandari, who's from Health and Behavior Studies, and for the Masters 2 ceremony, we have DJ Jeffries from Organization and Leadership. Welcome to you both. First, I want to just start off by hearing a little bit about both of you and kind of your TC story.
Yeah, so from a young age, my parents instilled in me the value of education, and they really let us know that they would support any career that we entered so long as we were passionate about it and we were driven to succeed in it.
I love that. Thanks for sharing. DJ, your story?
I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, with a very close-knit family and a working-class household. My grandmother was the primary breadwinner, and I saw her working 2, sometimes 3 jobs so that we could have a chance. And I really felt like that chance was compelling me to do more. It compelled me to move to New York City, become the first person in my family to work for a major corporation. And while I was there, I saw people who reminded me so much of my grandmother, who I saw their careers were just not going where it needed to go, and it was tough to get them included. The company wasn't necessarily thinking about their needs and their interests, and so that really drove me to figure out, how do we challenge organizations to better serve marginalized communities? And I knew I didn't have the skill set just yet to be able to do that, so that led me to pursue more education, and that's part of the reason why I chose to study adult learning and leadership at the Teachers College.
Is there a specific moment at TC or specific people that come to mind when you think about sense of belonging and sense of purpose?
Yes, definitely. During the summer of 2020, a couple of students in my program and myself, we came together to write the Advocating for Anti-Racism Practices proposal, which essentially was a long document that outlined our thoughts regarding how to make our program more actively anti-racist. That community has continued to impact the way that I think and the way that I learn and the way that I conceptualize my role in, within the TC community and as a school psychologist, as a person, as a sister, daughter, friend, and they inspire me every day in the way that they think, and they make me a better person.
I love that. DJ, anything that Yumna said that resonates, or are you hitting other things in your speech?
I mean, all of that resonated with me.
Yeah.
Many of us started, some of us continued during a pandemic and so much uncertainty where, there was something we could not see that was literally killing us. Every time we walked outside, we were taking a risk to our safety and the safety of those that we care most about. We went through a lot of challenges and we overcame those challenges. And it's that spirit that I felt when I got to know the collective soul of TC. It's amazing what we've been able to accomplish out of a very difficult time, a time that's been full of uncertainty, but we've rose to the occasion and will continue to rise to the occasion, because the world outside of TC is no easier. Things don't get easier, but we've gotten tougher, and I'm inspired by what we've done and so excited for what we continue to do.
Absolutely. So what would you like to say to the family and friends, both your family and friends, but maybe just to the collective of all the family and friends of our graduating students?
We are the product of the love and the time and the energy that others pour into us, and the way that we shape and are shaped by these circles that we belong to. So number one, I would just say thank you. I am who I am because of the way that my family, the circles of support that I belong to, have shaped me and the way that we interact with one another.
we are so grateful for all the sacrifices and all the things that they've done to make this day possible. I think the graduates today will rightfully hear congratulations. We're so proud of you all day, but also we're so proud of our parents. We're so proud of our family, whatever family looks like to the students, because we know what they had to do to make this possible. And today is a realization of dreams and visions that they had to believe in without maybe evidence in their day-to-day lives, but they hoped for it and they did what they could to make it possible and real. So I guess gratitude is what I would express. Just thank you so much for everything you've done, and it is not forgotten. We see you, we see your sacrifices.
And we're back. Tom Rock has joined me here on the concourse. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Denise.
Welcome. So how was it downstairs?
Oh my gosh, amazing. Professor Brasitis, it was so great that she stopped by to say hello and give shout outs and messages to our graduates. It's always wonderful to see the faculty celebrating with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we go on, I do want to give some shout outs. So our college events team worked so hard on planning all these convocation ceremonies. We're now in our 4th one this weekend. They also led us through 2 years of virtual ceremonies. So to Trish, Stephen, Kieran, Ashley, thank you so much for your leadership in planning all of this. And to our volunteers and all the crew behind the scenes, thank you, thank you, thank you. You all make the magic happen.
Yeah, we could not do this without them. So thank you so much.
So, Tom, let's talk a little bit about the processional party, because sometimes that's confusing to figure out who's walking down, what role do they play at the college. So can you tell us a little bit about what to expect?
Sure, yeah, it's really, really interesting. It's a beautiful processional. So we kick it off with the Alumni Council president, who accompanies our graduates into the stadium here, and then followed by our student speaker, DJ Jeffries, who you just heard from, but wait until you hear him later, from Organization and Leadership. Then our departments follow DJ. So the departments today, we have the Department of Education Policy and Social Analysis, Human Development, International and Transcultural Studies, Mathematics, Science and Technology, and Organization and Leadership. And each one of those departments will have 2 honorary banner bearers that are selected by the faculty of that department. And then speaking of the faculty, we have, we're expecting about 60 of our faculty here at this ceremony tonight. Following the faculty is the President's Party. So the President's Party is led by the Secretary of the college and TC alum, and my friend, Katie Embry was my first friend when I came to Teachers College. And then after Katie, the President's cabinet members, followed by trustees of the college, Professor Mark Gooden, who's the department chair from Organization and Leadership. He's escorting the TC medalist, who is none other than Dr. Torian Easterling, the first deputy commissioner and the chief equity officer at the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. I'm so excited to hear Dr. Easterling. I took a photo with him out in Grad Plaza. And then finally, last on to the dais is President Bailey, who is the last on stage. So it's really beautiful, but that's the order of the processional.
Yeah, I can't wait. And I heard a teaser of DJ's speech, and I got goosebumps. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm excited because DJ was actually a student worker in my office last year, so I'm just so excited to see him on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a competitive student speaker process to be chosen to be the student speaker. So most of this candidates are nominated. Usually faculty nominate them. Students, staff sometimes nominate them. It's a rigorous process to be chosen as the student speaker. So kudos to DJ. I mean, all of the nominees were phenomenal, but DJ obviously will have an important message to share. So I can't wait to hear him.
Amazing. So let's talk a little bit about the program. So for everyone watching, you can find the program on the TC Convocation website, and you'll find all the information there about our graduating class. So for the program, we're going to start off with a welcome by the chair of our Board of Trustees, Bill Ruckert. Then we're going to have the President's address, followed by the medalist speech. We're going to have our student speaker, who we just talked about, and then the musical interlude, which we love a good musical interlude.
Oh my gosh, we heard a rehearsal of that. Amazing, amazing talent.
And then it's the main event, which is our graduates walking across stage.
Yeah. And we're ready to call their names, right?
Yeah, so this isn't the last you hear from Tom and I. We're going to be on stage. But with that, we're going to get ready to start going on stage. We just want to say congratulations to all our graduates. That's it for our pre-show. Thanks so much, Tom, for joining me. We'll see you on stage.
Thank you, Denise. See you on stage.
Good evening, and welcome to the Teachers College Masters Convocation Ceremony. Please silence your electronic devices. Keep aisles clear at all times. Plan to meet your graduate outside on Grad Plaza. Please take your seat. The ceremony is about to begin. Families and friends, please welcome the Teachers College 2022 Masters graduates, led by student speaker Deborius Jeffries, accompanied by the Teachers College Alumni Association. Please welcome the Department of Education Policy and Social Analysis, led by banner bearers Rani Ariel Korak and Emerald Bayukedi. Please welcome the Department of Human Development, led by banner bearers Yu Cheng Pan and Precious Jewel Elam. Please welcome the Department of International and Transcultural Studies, led by banner bearers Nadia Elizabeth Ford and Jonathan Kwok. Please welcome the Department of Mathematics, Science, and Technology, led by banner bearers Brandon Crofts and Utharika Shetty. Please welcome the Department of Organization and Leadership, led by banner bearers Chavez L. Freeman and Sophie Cox. And now, please welcome the faculty of Teachers College. Please welcome the President's Party, led by Katie Embry, Chief of Staff and Secretary of the College. Please welcome William Rickert, Chair, Board of Trustees.
Thank you, and good evening, and welcome to all of our guests here and those who are watching virtually online. As Chair of the Teachers College Board of Trustees, I have the honor of officially opening today's ceremony and being the first to congratulate the 2022 Master's graduates of Teachers College. I can't tell you how happy we all are to be able to celebrate with you in person this year. But I know that even on this joyous day, there is sadness. Many of us gathered here have experienced personal loss due to COVID-19. And so we hold two feelings in our hearts: sorrow for all that was lost and joy for being together in community on this day. Graduates, as we celebrate your accomplishments, we know it has not been easy, and each of you had a journey marked by unexpected challenges and hardship. And that is what makes today all the sweeter. So the applause a minute ago was just a warm-up. I want everybody in the stadium to give our graduates a big, big round of applause for their accomplishment. Pretty good, there'll be more. This is a momentous day, not only because it signifies the culmination of a tremendous amount of academic effort, hours upon hours of work on papers, research, exams, presentations, clinical field work, but also because they signal your commitment and your readiness to step into the world and make a difference as innovators and leaders. Many of you are heading into schools and classrooms to launch your careers as teachers, principals, and district leaders. You will be working on the front lines of our country's future, nurturing and shaping the hearts and minds of young people at a time when our nation urgently needs citizens with a clear vision of what is just and what is possible. Thank you for taking on this incredibly important work. Others of you will be sharing hearts and minds as psychologists or as designers of digital games and instructional technology, and some of you will be shaping the conditions in which all of these professionals work to help them enact change as policy analysts, data scientists, and researchers. Together you embody what Teachers College has recognized since our founding 130 years ago: for individuals to flourish and reach their full potential, we must support their well-being comprehensively, both in and out of school and from birth to old age. This foundational insight, this drive to address the whole of human development, is why Teachers College offers graduate programs not only in education, but also psychology, health, and leadership. It is why TC scholars have always been at the forefront of identifying and meeting emerging societal needs, establishing the nation's first programs in educational psychology, nutritional education, international education, special education, and so many other areas. And it is why so many TC graduates have gone on to become leaders in their fields, and so will all of you. I am so proud and grateful to be here to celebrate this new class of graduates who I know will continue to build on and contribute to this great legacy. And now it is my very great pleasure to introduce the President of Teachers College, Thomas Bailey.
Thank you, Bill. Good evening. Come on, you're a boisterous group. Let's hear it. Good evening. Yeah. We're going to need more of that. So what a tremendously exciting and happy occasion being here with you for our first in-person convocation since 2019. It's been a long time coming, and you have gone through unprecedented challenges to get to this day. So, let's hear it again for the Teachers College class of 2022. That's it. Getting better and better. Graduates, let's also hear it for everyone who has helped you on your academic journey. Not yet? Our faculty, who have done so much to support you and are so committed to your success. Our staff, who have put in unseen hours to ensure that you could continue to pursue your studies throughout the pandemic and stay connected to the college and to each other. And most importantly, your family, spouses, partners, friends whose love, generosity, and patience will, I venture to say, have been the indispensable ingredient for getting to this day. All of you have taken on this great and daunting task of obtaining a master's degree for a purpose. For many of you, that purpose took shape from the injustices and inequities you perceived around you. Driven by compassion and a moral conviction that things could be different, you were impelled to make a change, to help create a society in which no one is denied access, inclusion, and opportunity because of what they look like, who their parents are, how much money they have, where they are from, or their differing abilities. This sense of purpose comes from what the renowned philosopher and TC faculty member Maxine Greene called wide awakeness. Living wide awake is the opposite of passivity and indifference. Wide awakeness is to actively reflect on your condition in the world, to inquire into the forces that appear to dominate us, to interpret the experience we have each day, and through this, to continual act of awareness and questioning to develop a sense of agency that is required for living a moral life and enacting change. Every bit of progress towards justice that we have made has been because of individuals who lived wide-awake lives. They have been able to reflect on the prevailing conditions and use what Greene has called their social imaginations to envision something different. And then they have pursued that vision with an indomitable sense of purpose. I think back to the Reconstruction era, when in the face of almost every challenge, the African American community relentlessly pursued an education. They pooled meager resources to hire teachers, found or build spaces for schools, and faced down violent opposition. Despite the many powerful forces arrayed against them, by 1900, they were able to virtually eradicate illiteracy among black Southerners under the age of 40. I think also of Americans like Dr. Susan LaFlèche Picault, a member of the Omaha tribe born in 1833, who witnessed a fellow tribe member suffer and die because the white doctor refused to come. She was inspired to become the first Native American to earn woman to earn a medical degree, served as a doctor and advocate for her people, and opened the region's first modern hospital. Or Dorothea Lynn Dix, born in Maine in 1802, whose own challenges with depression inspired her to advocate for the fair treatment of patients suffering from mental health disorders. She led the establishment of 32 modern mental health hospitals and helped shift public perception to a more compassionate understanding of mental illness. Teachers College is infused with the spirit and legacy of such wide-awake lives. Sadie Delaney, for example, was born in North Carolina to a father who was a former slave. She escaped the Jim Crow South to earn education degrees from Teachers College and insisted on doing her student teaching at a public school despite efforts to relegate her to a segregated non-school setting. Undaunted by the profound racism and discrimination, her driving sense of purpose led her to become the first black woman permitted to teach domestic science in New York City high schools in 1926, bursting open closed doors that others could walk through. Or Dao Wen-Sing, who came to TC from China in 1915 to study education, saying, "No genuine republic can exist without a genuine public education." After graduating, he headed home and founded the Morning Village Normal School in Nanjing. Along with his contemporaries, TC alumni Zhang Poling and Zhang Munlin, he helped build a modern education system in China that brought it from an illiteracy rate of almost 80% to the powerhouse schooling system we know today. And there is Elizabeth Farrell, a TC faculty member whose social imagination was sparked in the early 20th century when she worked as a teacher with boys who were then labeled incorrigible and mentally defective. She showed a revolution in how we teach students with disabilities. Besides founding the nation's first graduate program in special education at TC, she established a diagnostic clinic here that developed personalized support strategies for learning disabled students, the forerunner of the modern individualized education plan. These individuals did not solve all of society's ills, but they saw one thing they could change. They pursued it relentlessly, and they made the world a better place. Today, our society faces many challenges. We are witnessing a rising tide of extremism and racial violence and an assault on reproductive rights. We still have to fight to ensure equitable access to a great education, to nutritious, affordable food, to high-quality medical, psychological, and therapeutic services. None of you will be able to solve all of these challenges, but you are here today because you have that wide awakeness to envision what could and must be better in your chosen field and to strive to make it a reality. That spirit has been so abundantly evident in the class of 2022. The pandemic posed unprecedented challenges. Many of you had to juggle parenting and working and scholarly pursuits. Some of you faced the death of loved ones, illness, solitude, and economic insecurity. But you persisted. You kept your purpose front and center. You worked to make change in the world with an abiding sense of compassion for those who faced greater struggles. You provided remote tutoring, counseling services, and therapeutic care. You created and shared online curricula to keep students learning and engaged. You rallied against climate change, racism, and racial violence. You organized mass drives for people in need and delivered groceries to at-risk neighbors. You increased access to school meals and food pantries. You worked to make higher education available to all communities and to bring diversity, equity, and inclusion into schools, corporations, nonprofits, and our own TC curriculum and community. And then, when you returned to our buildings, you worked together with energy and enthusiasm to rebuild a vibrant campus culture. You held more than 100 events and outings to forge community and build knowledge, organized and participated in roundtables and conferences, and met regularly with me and the provost to share insights and advocate for peers. Now you will go out into the world as educators, counselors, researchers, analysts, leaders. You will bring your knowledge, compassion, and wide awakeness. Your work will shape current and future generations and empower them to flourish in mind, body, and civic spirit. There is much to do, and there will be times when you are frustrated in your efforts. But if you hold tight to that sense of purpose that has brought you to where you are, today you will enact change. You will have an impact. I can't wait to see all that you accomplish. So let's hear it again for our amazing 2022 graduates. We have now reached the moment in this ceremony where we honor an extraordinary individual whose life's work has substantively advanced the cause of human flourishing while upholding TC's core mission to foster excellence and equity in the fields we serve. Among those honored at past ceremonies are Nicole Hannah-Jones, Jill Biden, Stacey Abrams, Thomas Friedman, John Lewis, Maya Angelou, Jane Goodall, Jonathan Kozol, Temple Grandin, and Lee Sing Kong. This year we honor 4 preeminent practitioners, scholars, and leaders: Dr. Torian Easterling, Dr. Rosemarie Trulio, Catherine Garcia, and Anthony Fauci. I am delighted to welcome Professor Mark Gooden to the stage, joined by Provost Stephanie Rowley, to introduce Dr. Torian Easterling.
Thank you, President Bailey. Good evening and congratulations, graduates. It is my sincere pleasure to invite our medalist, Dr. Torian Easterling, to join me at the podium. Dr. Easterling, we are here today to honor your achievements and to imagine all that is yet to come. For yours is a story that is still being written. Some years ago, as a kid in New Jersey, you began to dream of being a doctor. In pursuit of that dream, you majored in biology at Morehouse College, an institution you credit with helping to shape your identity. There you learned to take a seat at the table where ideas are formed and decisions are made. You proceeded to earn both a medical degree and a master's in public health before setting off to better the world. In your words, I was called to public health service because of my passion for social justice, health equity, and movement building. And you have demonstrated your commitment to these principles at every turn. Globally, you helped rebuild Liberia's healthcare system in the aftermath of civil war and headed to Haiti following the 2010 earthquake in response to the crisis there. Here at home, you joined the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene as Assistant Commissioner in 2015. Today, you serve as the organization's first Deputy Commissioner and Chief Equity Officer. In addition to caring for your community as a family practice doctor in Brooklyn. We are especially grateful for your innovative equity response plan as we navigate the complex terrain of the COVID-19 pandemic. You say, public health at its root is a commitment to community organizing. And you have made that real across New York City. You led the effort to implement door-to-door outreach in the most disproportionately impacted areas of the city. You built trust by hiring contact tracers from those neighborhoods and connected people in need with critical local services. And as we began to forge a path to recover, You built trust by hiring contact tracers from those neighborhoods and connected people in need with critical local services as we began to forge a path to recovery. Your series, Reimagining Public Health for NYC, is bringing together leaders in science, medicine, public health, and racial and social justice to shape holistic solutions and keep equity front and center.
What an incredible career with such impact. So Dr. Easterling, in all that you do, you raise awareness and open doors. You remind us that racism, both then and now, contributes to unjust health outcomes and that future generations have the power to change the narrative. Throughout our history, Teachers College has fought for racial equity and social justice, and your work makes us proud. In solidarity and in gratitude, we are most honored to present you with the Medal for Distinguished Service.
Good evening. If anyone is asking themselves, who is this young man? Let me see if this helps jog your memory. This is Dr. Easterling here again with a COVID-19 public service announcement. TC graduates, congratulations! It is an honor to be here this evening with you, celebrating in this moment, to be recognized for the work that myself and my colleagues have done. I am accepting this on behalf of over 6,000 public health colleagues here in New York City who have protected the lives of over 8 million people in New York City. And we thank you. We thank you for this. I want to thank Dr. Gooden for that kind and generous introduction, remarking on my journey. Really, there is a lot that I have to go, but it was a lot that we've already done, and I'm so grateful to be recognized this way. Thank you to President Bailey, Provost Rowley, and the entire faculty, administration, and all of the staff of Teachers College. Give it up for all of your faculty members. But most of all, I want to thank all of you, TC Masters graduates of 2022, for your commitment and hard work during extraordinarily difficult and complicated times. I can only imagine the challenge many of you have faced these past 2 years, especially for those who were yearning to be in a fully in-person learning environment, but had to spend at least part of your graduate experience zooming in from home. For all of you, I only hope that your decision to pursue careers and lives of service has been reconfirmed and your dedication strengthened as you dug deep into your studies and practice amid unprecedented and often fearful circumstances. I would be remiss if I did not mention this when I told colleagues at the New York City Health Department who are TC alums that I was speaking here today. They also told me to thank you. And they added a hell yeah TC with a fist pump. So hell yeah TC. It's no surprise that we share TC fans at the health department when it comes to solidarity around true, deeply ingrained, unabashed, anti-racist teaching, learning, and institutional practice. Listen, TC is the real deal. TC and the New York City Health Department both originated to meet specific needs in underserved 19th century New York City immigrant communities. And it's to TC's credit that ethos of serving the marginalized and delivering change from the ground up has never faded. From a major race relations symposium and associated curricula as far back as 1929, to the launch of the Institute for Urban and Minority Education in 1974, this institution was making space for conversations about race and equity and producing results at times when, well, let's be frank, schools and institutions had more to lose by doing so than they do today. I am proud that the New York City Health Department also began centering anti-racism as a philosophy and goal years before it was trending, especially for a government institution. But while the department has taken a whole city and whole person approach to public health, for decades it has still fallen into the trap of good intentions. And around health inequity in particular, good intentions without rigorous science and data-informed analysis, a clear-eyed understanding of root systemic causes, and a fierce ideology of purpose matched with boldness of vision are stultifying. What James Baldwin once scathingly described, and I quote, "The folly and the cowardice of good intentions have long enabled people and institutions embedded in systems of power, and the DOH is not excluded, at best to miss the mark on affecting real change." See, good intentions did not prevent Black, brown, and indigenous people in New York around the country from experiencing disproportionate rate of illness, hospitalization, and death from COVID-19. Not at all unrelatedly, no amount of equal protection laws or corporate diversity measures kept Black, brown, and indigenous people from disproportionately being unemployed or underemployed, experiencing housing and food insecurity, living in crowded and unsafe conditions, or working essential jobs, all things directly correlated with the worst outcomes during COVID-19. I was incredibly honored to be appointed in September 2020 as the Health Department's first Deputy Commissioner and Chief Equity Officer. A combination Thank you. A combination that suggests how intrinsically equity is tied to our mission and how deeply committed we are putting anti-racism practice into action. When I'm asked to describe the work I do, I can answer in one word: change. The work of change comes in the three main forms: changing minds, changing lives, and changing society. As teachers, policy experts, and leaders in education and public health, our jobs largely revolve around changing minds. We present new and challenging ideas. We identify problems and suggest alternatives. We expand people's field of vision and open realms of possibility. For me, my mind was changed at Morehouse, the legendary historically Black college where professors and classmates taught me to think beyond myself and find my voice as a Black man. All Morehouse men are challenged to grow tall enough to wear the crown that Morehouse holds over its head. Well, I might have taken that too literally. And then as a first-year medical student, my mind was changed during a 6-week trip I spent in Ghana examining traditional and Western-infused healing practice. It was there I first came to recognize how social and community factors impact health outcomes. In my role at the health department over the last 2 years, the more public-facing part of my job has been to change people's mind about vaccines. But a more long-standing and behind-the-scenes part of my work involved changing minds, both inside and outside the agency, around public health itself, around equity and why it matters, around why notions like equality, inclusivity, and even diversity are insufficient to eliminate inequity and to make the larger changes we need. See, of course, changing minds does not automatically result in changing lives. It takes a lot of work, but when you're lucky enough to directly change lives, the rewards, as I hope and suspect that you know, are profound. I give a lot of this credit to the understanding from my affiliations with amazing organizations and institutions that have defended human rights, such as the Malcolm X Grassroots Movement, a national organization with several chapters in major cities like New York City. One of its pivotal practices is Cop Watch, a program that monitors and documents police actions in Black and brown communities. When I was a member of MXGM, comrades and I launched a food delivery program called Feed Newark. See, like the Black Panther Party, which we drew a lot of inspiration from, we knew that changing lives meant changing the conditions that people live in. And at Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School, I led a team of fellow budding young doctors as we expanded the school's student-run medical clinic, adding clinics and local shelters and bringing clinical and social services to people who sorely needed them. The results were life-changing, and we have the data to back it up. But see, changing society, or really the systems that make up our society, is the toughest change of all. I mentioned earlier that a big part of my job has been to change people's mind about vaccines, specifically to explain to people who are reluctant or doubtful or suspicious that the vaccines are indeed safe and that they will offer added protection to them and their loved ones. And indeed, to that extent, I, or more accurately, the mass public health effort of which I am one small part, have been successful. Indeed, lives have been changed. The more people who are vaccinated, the more people gain a level of protection from COVID-19, and hopefully the spread of the virus will lessen. Again, it takes a lot of work. It also takes a lot of patience and follow-through, or sometimes, as I've learned, a whole lot of public service announcements. This past weekend, while dining out with my family, an older Black woman who announced her age and winked at my wife before approaching us, proudly proclaimed that my PSAs on the COVID vaccine significantly impacted her decision to get one. But even better, she said, was the example I set for so many other members of our community. These are the moments that make it worth it. Changing minds and changing lives. But as critical as these are, they only go so far. How do we change the structures that demand so much change in the first place? Changing the systems that are rooted in racism and sexism, LGBT phobia, xenophobia, and other forms of discrimination and hate is not a linear process. It does not flow naturally from good intentions. You are going into a world where the inherent violence of long-standing institutional white supremacy continues to emerge over and over and over again. We are still reeling from the most recent attack in Buffalo, New York, where our systems of law and policing are enshrining the open dehumanization of queer people and women. Speaking out will not be enough. I hate to say it, and as necessary as it is, voting is not going to be enough. Even changing minds and lives will not be enough. Last year, my colleagues at the health department and I wrote something of a manifesto. We passed unanimously by the New York City Board of Health in October, resolving that racism is a public health crisis. Yes, resolving, not merely declaring. The meat of the resolution is a concrete set of rigorous, system-disrupting action items to which we will be held internally and externally accountable to. This is largely my job to oversee. In your roles as teachers, as institution leaders and managers, as math and science educators, as psychologists and data analysts, as graduates of a school whose mission, and to quote President Bailey, to fight against racism and inequity, I will be turning to you for your partnership and help. We will need all of us. My daughters, my oldest, who was born on the day New York City announced his first reported COVID-19 case, and my youngest, who was born this past February after the peak of the Omicron wave. My daughters will need all of us. Your families who are here to witness this monumental occasion will need everything we have. The best leadership advice I can give in this moment is also the leadership advice I've ever received. Always be prepared to take the next challenge, even when you're not prepared. We can prepare for the unpreparable by joining in solidarity, by resolving to change the systems that imprison far too many of us, and by never settling for good intentions. May you be steadfast and resolute in your search for change. Thank you.
Families and friends, please welcome student speaker Deborius M. Jeffries of the Department of Organization and Leadership.
For better or for worse, the events of the past 2 years have bonded us in a truly unique way. In early 2020, humanity was hit with an invisible enemy. And even as we wiped down bananas with Clorox wipes and scuffled with our neighbors over toilet paper, we could not understand what was happening right in front of us. Everything changed. This was a complex time in my life, the product of a working class family from Memphis, Tennessee. And when I say working class, I mean the people who really worked their butt off. I grew up watching my grandma work as many as 3 jobs at a time, all so that we can make ends meet. One of those jobs was at an affiliate of the world's largest grocery store chain. As we've seen from the events of the past few weeks right here in this very state, simply going to the grocery store while Black can be risking your life. My grandmother worked every day with no complaints, all so that we could have a chance. For me, that chance led me to Teachers College directly as the world seemed to be losing all sense of direction. When I got here in September of 2020, I was a new student at a college I had never even visited. The campus was closed and classes were online. I couldn't be here in person, so I felt compelled to get as involved as possible in every virtual way. Student Senate, Black Student Network, Graduate Student Life and Development, to name a few. But the single most important outcome of all these roles was the opportunity and the chance to get to know the collective soul of this community. I know that some of my peers had to join Zoom classes from around the world, sometimes as early as 3 a.m. in their local time. Others in this country, to take advantage of their chance at learning at this world-class institution, would go months or years without seeing their family. Everything changed. I also saw many of my peers grapple with a new or deepening awareness of the effects that racism still has on our society. Racial tragedy has not ended. This and the ecosystem of disinformation that supports it remain constant challenges to our shared idea of a just and tolerant society for all. Over the past 2 years, there were lost jobs and wages. There was the struggle to find and maintain childcare and housing. There were sick family members who we could not visit. There were memorial services that we could not attend. And there was the underlying knowledge that every time we left our house, we were taking a risk that could put us or our family in very real danger. My own mom, who had me at just 16 years old, is a restaurant manager, and she was deemed essential. That meant every day her work asked her to risk her health and her well-being to provide for others. It's worth mentioning that many of you too were essential workers, and for that, this society's debt to you cannot be understated. Now, it is in front of this backdrop of global chaos and uncertainty that we as TC students did something remarkable. We rose. Day after day, with change all around us, we created a way. And as we go forward now, having the privilege and yes, the chance of obtaining education from one of the most prestigious institutions in the history of the world, let us not forget our collective responsibility to turn around and to give that chance to someone else. I know from getting to know this class that is precisely what has driven so many of us to TC in the first place. We know that we cannot sit idly by in ivory towers. We cannot and we have not. Shaped by experience and bound by the knowledge that forward was and is the only way, we must face the challenges in front of us with decisive vigor and determination, and like every time before, we must, and I hope that we will, rise. Now, as I conclude, on behalf of this wonderful class in front of me, I want to express gratitude to the faculty, staff, and administration of this institution. You held sacred your responsibility to us during an unprecedented time, and your example has been etched into our memory. To my classmates, looking back over all that we have accomplished, the future that lies ahead might just be our biggest chance for our best change yet. What we have done, and if you look around the room, and if this is any indication we've not done it alone, is truly incredible. But the path that lies before us will not be easy. Still, with this time at TC as evidence, I have nothing but optimism for the future we'll build together. Thank you and congratulations.
Please welcome Shen Li, student of the Music and Music Education Program, Department of Arts and Humanities. And now, to recognize each of the master's degree candidates are Tom Rock, Vice Provost of Student Affairs, and Denise Bonetta, Director of Graduate Student Life and Development.
Thank you very much. And now we will read the names of the graduates with a Master of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Philosophy, and Master of Science degrees.
We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of Educational Policy and Social Analysis. Emerald Bayakegi.
Rani Korak.
Deborah Batanga.
Kevin Reed.
Juliana Marino.
Emily Levitt.
Catherine Bucaccio.
Molly Ostro.
Daniela Torres.
Lila Stenson.
Rebecca Mew.
Paige Janae Tali.
Tweevy Nguyen.
Cameron Diwa.
Daihui Zhao.
Jocardo Ralston.
Hui Zheng.
Sapna Arvin.
Andrea Zupano.
Nicholas Tucker Reyes.
Icy Busa.
Mick Breeden.
Hannah Lewis.
Angelica Guarino.
Jason Lee.
Cesar Placencia.
Kelly Tran.
May Hong.
Ufia Johnson Throton.
Clarissa Wong.
Fatima Toumi Eldahi.
Victoria Murphy.
Rahul Amenta.
Gabriela Garcia Delano.
Ava Mateo.
Juwad Pullen.
Sarah McDowell.
Ray Coren Reyes.
Kimberly Van Wyck.
Iris Hin.
C-Ray Chow.
Erica Boyce.
Faye Su.
Clinton Ikoda.
Shihan Zhang.
Elijah Gardner. Patrice Eugene. Natalia Pivovar. That concludes the graduates from the Department of Education Policy and Social Analysis. I now ask the faculty from the Department of Education Policy and Social Analysis to please stand to be recognized with our master's graduates.
We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of Human Development. Yui Cheng Pan.
Precious Ilom.
Yifei Zhang.
Jingru Zhang.
He Chen.
Catherine Javier.
Ki Wang.
Keiji Feng.
Vivian Chen.
Kayla Nalvin.
Malini Naur.
Anjum Ahmed.
Nicole Schlossberg.
Preetha Sengupta.
Rochelle Raisin.
Naina Devadas.
Annabelle Madden.
Vijay Madhavan.
Courtney Parrott.
Paolo Rivas.
Alexandra Willens.
Megan Laufer.
Isabel Wynn.
Daniel Quack.
Samantha Elliman.
Ming Shen.
Xiang Li.
Christine Gao.
Fan Zheng.
Danny Shan.
Kylie Hartzell.
Abdul Aziz Ahmad.
Crystal Nunez.
Juliet Octavius.
Sharon Ettinger.
Joan Patricia Santana.
Corey Dimitrikopoulos.
Cindy Katrina Satuari.
Seely Chan.
Bana Lee.
Salma Abdurahi. Habitai. Xiaoyi Drew.
That concludes the graduates from the Department of Human Development. I now ask the faculty from the Department of Human Development to please stand and be recognized and recognize our graduates.
We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of International and Transcultural Studies. Nadia Ford.
Jonathan Kwok.
Shauna Richardson.
Suzanne Zaidama.
Jessica Marathis.
Emily Irvin.
Allison Voss.
Margaret Kepley.
Junyoung Choi.
Kiki Kokorinos.
Shreya Kundasamy.
Stella Huang.
Yuritsa Bajagais.
Akane Nakamura.
Pia Mati.
Sumeya Arpachi.
Joey Uwe.
Guga Dong.
Ewan Shou.
Peter Simpson.
Stephanie Louie.
Adia Smith.
Lindsay Gehring.
Angelo Luis Viana Santos.
Ray Francis Gonzalez.
Jor Meng.
Maria Serio.
Veronica Suarez Restrepo.
Jose Modeste.
Yijen Ju.
Mingyue Yu.
Jingran Su.
Shi Li.
Muhan
Minaka Tateno.
Xiao Xia.
Bing Chin Wu.
Huanchang Wang.
Chuan Hao.
Eunice Kang Chun.
Puskar Joshi.
Lauren Gonzalez.
Kulud Kume.
Tiana Lal.
Alexandra Imperial.
Ginny Chin.
Christy Marquez.
Camille Singh.
Jamie Hall.
Yutong Su.
Damian Mannings.
Zixuan Liu.
Franklin Amabiche.
Maggie Winnie Huang.
Feng Li Shi.
Jasmine Rabadavia.
Sandas Wakarle. Yuling Chi. Marjorie Perez Richardson. Si Yi Lee. Joelle Charuls. Yanji Kang.
That concludes the graduates from the Department of International and Transcultural Studies. I now ask the faculty from the Department of International and Transcultural Studies to please stand and be recognized and recognize our graduates.
We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of Mathematics, Science, and Technology. Utharika Shati,
Fritz Prophet,
Hong Jin Du,
Brandon Crofts,
Iko Zhang,
Yulun Wu,
Samin Uskar,
Yizhang Li,
Josh Han,
Tenyi Zhang,
Evan Goldman,
Michelle Lin,
Mulan Fu,
Connie Wolf,
Yingchen Lin,
Yuan Myung Kim,
David Zikowitz,
Zahar Al-Jabag,
Marina Lumei,
Wei Kong Xiong,
Tamonique Moore,
Brenna Decker,
Haley Larkins,
James Coe,
Linda Liao,
Gloria Chow,
John Chen,
Michael Milo,
Kelly Burke,
Chen Dong,
Jasmine Tan,
Emma Laplace,
Jonathan So,
Isabel Matthew,
Lorna Otero,
Panayota Chatsis,
Melissa Rooney,
Wei Zhui Duan,
Jennifer Bruce,
Chiaoi Chen,
Patricia Suba,
Xinyi Zhang,
Alexandra Cotter,
ZY Liu,
Melody Henry,
Chelsea Chu,
Chelsea Villarreal,
Rong Sang,
Claire Zung,
Yuxi Huang,
Tianxi Duan,
Hengshui Huang,
Yusin Hu,
Xiaomen Yang,
Dai Liu,
Jingnan He,
Annie Zhang,
Huan Yang,
Daning Fu,
Jiuo Li,
Yining Li,
Hyunsu Saw,
Rosin Ai,
Yao Pukshan,
Buri Yu, Jessica Delgado Miller, Nansun Tung, Elizabeth Ianecci, Jakai Zhang, Wenji Su,
Okay, that concludes the graduates from the Department of Mathematics, Science, and Technology. I now ask the faculty from the Department of Mathematics, Science, and Technology to rise and be recognized and recognize our graduates.
We now welcome the master's degree graduates from the Department of Organization and Leadership. Jordan Kelsey Carr,
Chavez Freeman,
Nisa Hassan,
Hannah Hennessy,
Sabrina Alvarado,
Stephen Palencia,
Ginny Curran,
Alexa Ray,
Jennifer Cunha,
Stella Pandis,
Ariana Yarathu,
Zoya Chabra,
Karen McCleary,
Kenye Askew,
Sarah Hee-jung Yoon,
Thessa Roy,
Shanae Matos,
Melissa Mayhew,
Romuald Kai Santiago,
Sam Dagan,
Athena Valencia Abadia,
Mira Perea,
Robin Kim,
Michael Lee,
Deborius Jeffries,
Suzette Nicole Mead,
Sandra Goana,
Lainey Doherty.
Anna Huger.
Kelechi Okere.
Amber Gratterell.
Stephanie Louis.
Megan Michelle.
Kristen Paris.
Antonia Farica.
Michael O'Regan.
Lena May.
Maura Lout.
Cindy New.
Benjamin Jaffe Walt.
Hannah Hunjung Nam.
Dana Molino.
Ovia Ramamurti Saravan.
Mary Hackett.
Liz Katana.
David Hyman.
Christian Wolfer.
Nick Power.
Kaoru Furuhashi.
Sophie Cox.
Jonathan Williams.
Emily Solomon.
Katie O'Neill.
Ana Maria Abba Barakez.
Lindsay Bissinger Herbst.
Emily Levine.
Becca Schoenfeld.
Akezia Phillip.
Alyssa Lasanti.
Rebecca Crom.
Shannon Kennedy.
Kaylee Condon.
Demi Williams.
Colin Corcoran.
Tolly St. Clair.
Morgan Mancall.
Matthew Spazzanti.
Corinne Wood.
Kingsley Ahi.
Natanya Trazenfeld.
Kimberly Guest.
Chan Lee Zhao.
Rebecca Gogui.
Chelsea Hughes.
Kristen Greist.
Parul Alawat.
Cody Omilosik.
Rania Bokhari.
Donnie Seidel.
Fang Liu.
Celine Shen.
Elizaveta Ovenova.
Ying Dong.
Umum Khalid.
Antonio Saldana.
Melissa Reyes Kapalan.
Ji Rue.
Marianne Mustak.
Seth Ganesi.
Jade Wong.
Rosie Grady.
Laura O'Shea.
Chris Grady.
Claire Nedemeyer.
Daniel Vishant.
Akari Yoshida.
Marco Solsenti.
Jeffrey Acevedo.
Christos Tamoridis.
Heidi Zimdal.
Miguel Moyeno.
Amelia Gray.
Joseph Carson.
Sharniqua Madden Francis.
Jonathan DeBianca.
Dean Bryson.
Scott Gary.
Mariana Candon.
James Sayer.
Crystal Watson.
Jackson Robinson.
Mercedes Liriano.
Beverly Nash.
Ashley Tucker.
Shristi Singh.
Justina Hernandez.
Nandi Edwar.
Jane Park.
Kristen Biederman.
Rebecca Yoon.
Christina Elevert Noel and Child.
Andrew Katzman.
Kathleen Hurley.
Mikal Dar.
Michael McGowan.
Gerald Kotianko.
Taisha Williams and family.
Jasmine Sher.
Lindsay Melacrinos.
Jiashu Chen.
Naaman Frank.
Minru Zhao.
Lamish Obigo-Woge.
Ziling Jia.
David Walters.
Shiyi Shu.
Tahira Simmons.
Jabai
Simmons.
Gin.
Santiago Morgan.
Yvonne Wong.
John Modoc.
Faith Iswebu.
Adimola Idu.
Damone Johnson.
Eric Taylor.
Chrissy Keck.
Umalia Francisco.
Braylon Paulino Pena.
Zainab Hussein.
Kirsten Victorian.
Kahaley Markman.
Brianna Wufford.
Elizabeth Searney.
Jasmine Merlet.
Prathika Joseph.
Kali Stewart.
Chi Sher.
Christina Miles.
Brenda Lagares.
Brittany Brooks.
Adriana Rodriguez and Child.
Rochelle Anderson. Norma Garces. Lorenzo Lopez. Diana Pacheco. Ryan Picard. Janine Soto. That concludes the graduates from the Department of Organization and Leadership. I now ask the faculty from the Department of Organization and Leadership to please stand to recognize our graduates. And that concludes the recognition of the candidates. Thank you very much.
And now, for the presentation of the graduates, please welcome Provost Stephanie Rowley.
What an incredible lineup. And now, President Bailey, Mr. Ruckert, trustees, faculty, staff, and our guests. It is my pleasure as provost of the college to present to you the master's graduates from Teachers College. Please hold your applause until all graduates have been recognized. Would Masters of Arts please stand and be recognized and remain standing? Would Masters of Science please stand to be recognized and remain standing? Would Masters of Philosophy please stand? And would Masters of Education please stand to be recognized? Amazing. President Bailey, I commend these graduates for their commitment to a wiser, healthier, more equitable, and more just world. I look forward to the positive change they will make as they take their place as leaders in our society. Congratulations.
And now, please welcome back William Rickert.
All right. What energy there is here tonight. We're almost done. On behalf of the trustees of Teachers College, I want to congratulate each of you for your extraordinary achievement. We thank your families and friends for joining with the faculty and staff of Teachers College to recognize you, our master's graduates of the class of 2022. We know that your contributions to improving the lives of your fellow human beings will make us all proud. Now go out and change the world. Thank you.
oh, 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 oh. so deep in your eyes. I touch on you more and more every time. When you leave, I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2-3 times in a row. Such a funny thing for me to try to explain. How I'm feeling and my pride is the one to blame. Cause I know I don't understand just how your love can do it, no one else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love's got me looking so crazy, your love. Oh 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 no no. Oh 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 no no. Oh 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 no no. Oh 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 no no. When I talk to my friends so quietly, who he think he is? Look at what you did to me. Fitted shoes don't even need to buy a new dress. If you ain't there, ain't nobody else to impress. It's the way that you know what I thought I knew. It's the beat that my heart gets when I'm with you. But I still don't understand just how you look and do it, no one else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love's got me looking so crazy, your love. Looking so crazy, your love's got me looking so crazy, your love.
Young Hov, y'all know when the flow is loco. Young B and the ROC. OG, big homie, the one and only. Stick bony, but the pockets is fat like Tony. Soprano, the rock handle like Ben X2. I shake phonies, man, you can't get next to. The genuine article, I do not sing though. I sling though, if anything, I bling yo. Star like Ringo, war like a Greensboro red. You crazy, bring your whole set. Jay-Z in the range, crazy in the range. They can't figure him out, they like, hey, is he insane? Yes, sir, I'm cut from a different cloth. My texture is the best firm chinchilla. I've been dealing with chain smokers. How do you think I got the name over? I've been realer, the game's over. Fall back young, ever since I made the change over to platinum, the game's been a rap one.
Got me looking so crazy, my baby. I'm not myself lately. I'm foolish, I don't do this. I've been playing myself, baby. I don't care, 'cause your love got the best of me, and baby you're making a fool of me. You got me strong and I don't care who sees, 'cause baby you got me so crazy, baby. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love's got me looking so crazy, your love. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love's got me looking so crazy, your love.
I knew my rent was gonna be late about a week ago. I worked my ass off, but I still can't pay it though. But I got just enough to get off in this club and have me a good time before my time is up. Hey, let's get it now.
Time ballin' in that. Tell the bartender, line up some shots, 'cause I'ma get loose tonight. She's on fire, she's so hot, I'm no liar. She burned up the spot, look like Mariah. I took another shot, hold her, drop it like it's hot. Dirty talk, dirty dance. She a freaky girl, and I'm a freaky man. She on the rebound, broke up with an ex, and I'm like Rodman, ready on deck. I told her wanna ride out, and she said yes. We didn't go to church, but I got blessed.
My rent was gonna be late about a week ago. I worked my ass off, but I still can't pay it though. But I got just enough to get off in this club, have me a good time before my time is up. Hey, let's get it now.
know the drill. Shake that ass. Go ahead, baby, let me see what you got. You know you got the biggest booty in this spot, and I just wanna see that thing drop from the back to the front to the top. You know me, I'm off in the cut. Always like a squirrel, looking for a nut. This is up for show. I'm not talking about luck. I'm not talking about love. I'm talking about lust. Now let's get loose, have some fun. Forget about bills in the first of the month. It's my night, your night, our night. Let's turn it up.
I knew my rent was gonna be late about a week ago. I worked my ass off, but I still can't pay though. But I got just enough to get off in this club. Have me a good time before my time is up. Hey, let's get it now.
I want the time of my life. Yeah. Oh, baby. Ooh, give me the time of my life. Hey, hey, hey.
Let's get it now.
Everybody gon' do something. Everybody gon' do something. Everybody gon' do something. So you might as well roll it up, drink it up, throw it up tonight. Oh, yeah. So everybody gon' do something. Everybody gon' do something. Everybody gon' do something. So you might as well roll it up, drink it up, throw it up tonight. Oh, yeah, yeah.
This for everybody going through tough times. Believe me, been there, done that. But every day above ground is a great day. Remember that.
I knew my rent was gonna be late about a week ago. I worked my ass off.